Seems there is a problem for few students. Okay. In last class, we just discussed introduction part. What are the concepts we are going to discuss in Linux? Okay. So in today's session, we'll discuss what is Linux and why Linux. So can someone tell me what is Linux?
Operating system.
Yes. Linux is an operating system. So what is operating system?
An interface between the user and computer to process the data.
So what is Linux means it is an operating system. What is operating system means operating system is an interface between hardware and user. Simple terms, operating system is an interface between hardware and user. After assembling the PC, directly users cannot work with hardware components. After assembling the PC, directly users cannot work with hardware components. We need an interface in order to interact with hardware components. Okay, so that interface like mediator is required. So that interface is operating system. So operating system is an interface between hardware and user. That is any operating system. It can be. In order to work with hardware components, we need an operating system. So tell me, we already have Windows operating system. Now you know what is operating system means. Operating system means it is an interface. Right. So why Linux operating system? We already have Windows operating system. We already have Windows operating system. Again, why Linux?
It is more secure compared to Windows and it is an open source.
Yeah, Linux is secure, open source, reliable, and yeah. See, Windows is user friendly. Windows next finish. No need to learn anything newly. It is very easy to configure. If you want to install any software, if you want to uninstall any software, next finish all everything. You want to create a file, you want to create a folder, right click new folder, right click new test document. Simple that is. When you are using Windows PCs, if you have a laptop or desktop where Windows operating system is installed, we are not taking any special training to access that machine because it is user friendly. But Linux is not like that. Okay, but still people are choosing Linux operating system. Many organizations are switching to Linux operating system. Okay, and all the technologies, latest technologies are coming with Linux operating system. So why Linux? When we already have Windows operating system, why Linux? Okay, so that we'll discuss first. Now, what I'm explaining as features of Linux, every point in further sessions I will show you practically. Okay, so first is open source. Source code we get along with the operating system. Open source means source code we get along with the operating system. So, operating system is free to everyone. You can download and you can install directly Linux operating system. The source code is free to everyone. No need to pay for the license fee. In Windows, it is not like that. If you want to use genuine Windows operating system, means we need to purchase licensed version. That is in Windows. A single user, 3 users, 5 users, 6 users, depends on number of users, they will charge. That is in Windows. But in Linux, It is open source. Source code we get along with the operating system. So operating system is free to everyone. That is one point. And source code is editable. We can modify our operating system as per our requirement. You can change the commands. You can create our own commands. We can change the complete view of our operating system. Okay. So, but if you know C++ 100, C++ 100% means we can do that. Okay. So first point is open source. Open source means source code we get along with the operating system. We can modify the operating system as per our requirement. And here one more point, whatever changes we do in our operating system, it will not affect to other pieces which are connected into our network. Okay, so that is first point. Second point. Security. Linux is secure. Why Linux is secure? First point. Linux works with command line interface. So those who know the commands, they only can access our computers. Without knowing the commands, others cannot access anything in our computer. Even they cannot log in into our computer also. They cannot create files, they cannot open our files, they cannot do anything. Linux works with command line interface. Linux works with command line interface only, but it is not difficult. Linux is not at all difficult. Okay, so security. Why Linux is security? Because it works with command line interface. Those who know commands, they only can access our computer. That is one of the reasons why Linux is secure. Second reason why Linux is secure. Linux is secure because for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Without password, we cannot log in into computer. See, in Windows, if you created a user account without password, when you click on that user account, it will allow you to log in into that account. But coming to Linux, if you created a user, password must create compulsory. Password is compulsory there. Without password, we cannot access user. So Linux is secure because for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Without password, no one can access our account. That is also one of the reasons why Linux is secure. And third point, Linux is secure because it doesn't support exe files. No next finish, no auto runs. Because Linux doesn't support exe files. So many PCs are infecting with virus because of exe files only. But Linux doesn't support it. So that is also one of the reasons why Linux is secure. And one more thing. Linux is secure because we can encrypt a file by assigning password. In Linux, we can encrypt a file by assigning password. Okay, encryption means converting the standard format into secure format, which no one can understand. So in Linux, we can encrypt a file by assigning password. Once a file is encrypted, others cannot access our file without our password. Say for example, in Windows, you created a notepad. There you added some content in that notepad. Okay, you saved that notepad somewhere in your computer. I don't know where you saved your notepad, but I know that there is an important content in your notepad and I have access to your PC. Now, what I will do, I will check every folder, every partition I will check because I don't know where you saved exactly. I may take time 1 day, 2 days, 3 days or 1 week, but definitely I will get it. So once I get the notepad, if I just double click on the notepad, simply I can see the content. But coming to Linux, when I created a file and added some content, important content into that file, I encrypted that file by assigning password. Once a file is encrypted by assigning password, the file is very secure. Now, the file is in desktop itself. When I try to see the content of your file, it is displaying the content in encrypted format. I'm unable, means secure format. I'm unable to understand what it is showing. And when I'm trying to open your file, it is asking me for the password. See, when I try to check the content of your file, it is displaying the content in encrypted format. When I'm trying to open your file, it is asking me for the password. So without password, I cannot access your file. So this is also one of the reason why Linux is secure. How to encrypt a file? We have a class in editor. There is a concept editor. So there, this practical I will show. As I told you, all the points what I'm explaining now as features of Linux, every point practically I will show in further session. Okay, and Linux is secure because there is no exe files, no setup files, no auto runs. Every server we configure manually and we call it as configuration file. If you want to install any servers, if you want to install any applications, you will not get any setup files here. Everything we configure manually. Okay, so that file we call as configuration file. So those who know the configurations, they can configure servers in our computer. Once everything is configured, we can encrypt that configuration file also. So others cannot edit or access anything from our configuration file. So our servers also secure. Okay, so that is also one reason why Linux is secured. I'm repeating again. Linux is secure because it works with command line interface. Linux is secure because for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Linux is secure because in Linux, we can encrypt a file by assigning password. Linux is secure because it doesn't support exe files. Linux is secure because there is no setup files in Linux. Everything we will get as a configuration files. So these are the few reasons why Linux is secure. Are you getting what I'm explaining?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And next.
Ma'am, even root user also have a password.
Sorry?
To log in, that root user also having password. You mean to say like every user having password, right?
For new user?
Root user also having password, or you
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
set it.
Root user also password is compulsory.
Okay, okay.
For root user means super user. For root user also password is compulsory. For every user, password is compulsory in Linux.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
So no downtime. 24 by 7. So many servers are working from since many years without downtime. In Linux, the big advantage is no need to restart the computer. Like if you do any changes, if you install something, if you uninstall something, if you update something, no need to restart the computer. Without restarting only, we can do all the changes. So that is also advantage of Linux operating system. Is that possible in Windows means? Definitely no. See, whenever you install any software, it will ask you to restart the computer. Even if you update your antivirus also, it will ask you to restart the computer. Even in Windows, if you are using genuine Windows operating system means, even in your laptops also, you can see sometimes new updates are ready. It will show you that. It will take 2 minutes to update. It will show you. When you are trying to shut down, it will show you like that. New updates are ready to update. It will show here. When you are trying to shut down or when you are trying to restart, it will give you that. Okay. So it requires updates. Once it is updated, it will restart the computer. In organizations, every week, those who are using Windows machines, every week, Microsoft people will send patches. Patches means updates. Every Thursday or Friday, Microsoft will forward the patches to all the Windows machines in organization. Then what administrator will do is they will update the patches. They'll update the patches. Once patches are installed, patches means updates. Once patches are installed in server computer, I'm repeating again, every week, Microsoft people will send the patches, updates to server machines. Okay, so in our organization, For server PC, what administrators will do is they will update that patches. Once patches are updated into server PC, it will ask you to restart the computer. Okay, if you restart the computer, your system is restarting means entire network will go down because it will stop all the services. The PCs which are connected to that server. So all the PCs also will down because the server is down. That is the reason in organizations what they will do is before restarting the server, they will send the mails to all the clients like 5 minutes downtime, 15 minutes downtime, something. Mails they will send to employees, to all the clients also. If you observe, sometimes when you are trying to do online transitions, your phone pay, Google Pay or Paytm, when you are trying to do online transitions, you will get like server is temporarily down because the main server is getting restarted. If something patches are updated, it will restart the computer. So if it is restarting, server is restarting means all the clients will go down. That is the problem in Windows PCs. In Windows PC, they required restart for every change. But in Linux, the main advantage is from many years, many servers are working without restarting the computer. That is also advantage of Linux. Okay, how to update without restarting, that also we will see practically in further session. Not in one day, these all points I will show one by one. Okay. Can anyone tell me how many types of users are there? How many types of operating systems are there? Can anyone tell me? Types of operating systems. 3 types. What are they? Windows, Linux, Mac. Again, I'm repeating my question. Types of operating systems. Anyone else?
Disk operating system.
Yes. See, 95, 98, ME, NT, XP, Windows, Vista, Linux, Unix, Solaris, Mac, Jetmac, OSP 390, 2000, 2003, 2008, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2016, 2018. Linux, Unix, Solaris, Mac, different types of operating systems are there. These are the list of operating systems. These are list. These are the list of operating systems. We have so many operating systems, more than 135 operating systems we have. Okay, but my question is types of operating systems. We have 3 types of operating systems. Single user, single task operating system, single user, multitask operating system, and the third one is multi-user, multitask operating system. There are 3 types of operating systems. Single user, single task, single user, multitask, multi-user, multitask. Single user, single task means only one user can log in and that user can perform only one task. That is called single user, single task. If they are listening songs in the same time they want to open MS Office and they want to do something, they cannot do that. They can do only one task at a time and only one user can log in at a time. That is called single user, single task. Example, DOS, disk operating system. That is the first operating system we have. Okay, that is single user, single task. And second one is single user multitask. Here also, how many users list it is showing? Still, only one user can log in at a time, but that user can perform multiple tasks. It means they can listen songs, they can watch movie, they can open Adobe Reader, they can open Maya software, they can open VMware software, they can open Packet Tracer software, they can open multiple tasks. They can perform multiple tasks, but only one user at a time. If one user is logged in, the same time another user wants to log in, they cannot log in. Once one user is logged out, then only another user can log in. But every user can perform multiple tasks. Can you tell me what is the example for single user multitask? Anyone?
Or personal PC.
Windows. Windows single user multitask. How many users list it is showing? Still only one user can log in at a time in Windows. If another user wants to log in, means first we log out from one user, then we log in into another user. And next one is multi-user multitask. Here multiple users can log in at a time, and that users can perform multiple tasks. 40,000 users can log in at a time here, multi-user multitask. But we don't log in those many users at a time, will get confusion, but practically it is possible. Multiple users can log in. In the same screen, you can see multiple users and every user can perform their own task. That is called multi-user multitask. Can you tell me example for multi-user multitask? Linux. So Linux is an example for multi-user multitask. So another advantage of Linux is multiple tasks it can do. Multiple tasks, even Windows also can do multitasking. That feature is there in Windows also. In Linux also we have that feature. Multitasking feature is available in most of the operating systems. But what is another advantage here? Multi-user. Multiple users can log in at a time. Using Linux operating system, multiple users can log in at a time. I will show you that practically. How to create the users, how to log in multiple users at a time, that also I'll show you practically. So this is also one of the advantages. Why? Linux means. This is also one of the feature. Okay, I'm taking Windows as an example just for your easy understanding purpose. I'm not saying Windows is best. All the operating systems are best in their own way. I'm just taking a Windows an example because if you imagine, easily you can understand with Windows. Okay, Windows and Linux comparison, if I give means, that is easy for you to understand. That is only the reason I'm explaining like this. Okay, so multi-user multitask, that is also advantage of Linux. And one more thing, compatible. In any hardware environment, we can use Windows Linux operating system. Linux supports any hardware environment. So it doesn't require any specific hardware environment. And it works with least hardware environment also. Linux works with least hardware environment also. It means you have 10 GB RAM, 1 GB hard disk, 10 GB hard disk, 1 GB RAM also Linux supports that. It works with least hardware environment. That is also advantage of Linux. Okay. And in Linux, inbuilt IP tables are there. IP table is nothing but firewalls. Firewalls option is available in most of the operating system. Even in Windows also we have that. And SC Linux. Secured Enhanced Linux. IP tables are used to secure networking files. SC Linux is used to secure local files. Okay, so this is also one of the reason why Linux means. And performance. Comparing to Windows, Linux is faster because Linux works with command line interface, black screen with white fonts. It doesn't require any graphics. Graphics are not compulsory. If you want, you can use. Otherwise, the graphics are not required. But in Windows, it is not like that. Windows always it uses graphic card. Your processor will use always graphic card because for everything, Windows uses colors. If you want to open a notepad also, everything it displays in colors. So, comparing to Windows, Linux is faster. One reason is Linux works with command line interface. We have another reason that is swap memory. Swap memory means virtual memory, which is used to increase the performance of RAM. There is an option to create swap memory, means virtual memory, in Linux while installing the operating system. With the help of that virtual memory, means swap memory, we can increase the speed of RAM. How to increase the speed of RAM using swap, that I will show practically while installing the operating system. And we have separate session for swap memory also. So at that time also, one more time I will explain. After entering to the operating system also, if you want to create virtual memory to increase the speed of our RAM, how to create that also I will show after entering to the operating system. Okay, so comparing to Windows, Linux is fast. Two reasons. One is command line interface. Second reason is swap memory. Virtual memory we can create to increase the speed of RAM. Okay. And Linux virus free. Free from virus. What is this virus free means? One moment. Let's say, for example, we have two computers. One is Windows computer and one is Linux computer. Okay. So what is computer? You know that computer is an electronic device. It may be Windows or it may be Linux. Computer means it is an electronic device. Right. What is the function of a computer? It takes input from input devices, do the process and gives output through output device. That is the function of a computer. Okay. So inside, how it will do the process, that is depends on your operating system, what you are using. Coming to Windows. So when you are giving any input like a plus b, 2 plus 2, 1 plus 1, whatever input we are giving, that input we call as utilities. So when you give any input, it transfers to shell. What is shell? Shell is an interface between user and hardware. Now what this shell will do is it converts the user understanding language into machine understanding language, means into zeros and ones, and it transfers to hardware. Okay, something data you are sending inside 2 plus 2, 1 plus 1, something data you are sending. It converts into zeros and ones. In Windows also we have shell, Narendra. Shell is there in all the operating system. Shell is used to convert the user understanding language into machine understanding language. Shell is used to convert user understanding language into machine understanding language, means into zeros and ones. When we give any input, it will not check the data. It just converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to hardware environment. So for example, you connected pen drive. The pen drive is infected with virus. It converts the virus into zeros and ones and it transfers to hardware environment. Something applications you are installing, that applications are not supported by hardware environment. It converts that applications into zeros and ones and it transfers to hardware. Here it will not check anything. There you will get errors while installing the applications. You will get errors. Something your operating system supports only, your operating system is 32-bit operating system. It means it supports all 32-bit applications. But something you are trying to install with 64-bit. When something is coming inside, Shell converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to hardware environment. It will not check anything, whether it is supported or not. It will not check anything. That is in Windows. But coming to Linux, here, if you are giving any input, here we give input through commands like cat, touch, vi, man, yum. We use different commands. Here also, when you give any input, shell receives that input. Now, what shell will do? It converts into zeros and ones. Shell is an interface between user and hardware, as we discussed here. What is the function of shell? Means shell converts the user understanding language into mission understanding language, means into zeros and ones. So once shell receives the data, it converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to kernel. In Linux, we have kernel. Okay, in Linux, we have kernel, that VM kernel we call. It is a software which we have in our operating system. So what this kernel will do, before transferring the data to hardware environment, first kernel will check whether the data is supported by hardware environment or not. When we give any input, shell receives the input, it converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to kernel. Look, when kernel receives the data, kernel checks whether the data is supported by hardware environment or not. If the data is supported by hardware environment, it transfers the data to hardware. If the data is not supported by hardware environment, it rejects back to shell. Something pen drive is connected. The pen drive is infected with virus. Okay, shell converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to kernel. Virus is not required to hardware. It will reject back. Something applications are coming with .exe files. Linux doesn't support exe files. Kernel rejects back. Some applications are coming which is not supported by hardware environment. It rejects back. Okay, something data is coming. So there user authentication is not there. Administrative permission is not there. It rejects back. It will check each and everything, then only it transfers the data to hardware environment. That is why Linux is virus free, means free from virus because of kernel. So this is also one reason why Linux is secure means. Okay, so these are the few
In
reasons
this,
why.
sorry, ma'am. In this process, it will take any time, or it will take any fraction of time between the shell and kernel while checking the
Fraction of
whether it
seconds it
is
will complete. No, it will
okay.
fraction of seconds it will complete while
Okay,
booting
okay.
itself.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Okay, these are few reasons why Linux means open source code we get along with the operating system. We can modify the operating system as per our requirement. But if you know C, C++ 100%, even if you know shell scripting also, you can do small modifications. You can create your own commands. Okay, and security, Linux is secure because
For
it works with
creating own command, we need to learn the shell scripting, ma'am.
Yeah, C, C++,
Otherwise, it won't require.
if you want to edit the operating system means we need to know the complete operating system. If you want to edit means we need to know C, C++ 100%. So something basic commands if you want to change, you want to generate your own commands. If you know shell scripting, you can create your own commands.
Okay. Thank you.
Like
Could you please
user
tell
add is
me
a command.
multi-user multitask, one general example, ma'am? Sorry.
Sorry?
Multi-user multitask. Multi-user multitask, Linux. Could you please tell me
Yes,
a
yes.
general example? I could not. Yeah.
Multi-user multitask means now, if I want to open Gmail account, I want to open Yahoo account. I want to open Insta account. I want to open my Red Hat account and I want to open a Windows account. All I want to open at a time. Is that possible?
No, ma'am.
Yes, of course possible. If you just open your browser, you can open multiple tabs are there, no? So in one tab, I will log in into Gmail. In one tab, I will log in into Facebook. From one tab, I will log in into Insta. Accounts are different. But using different tabs, I can log in into different accounts, right?
Right.
I'll show here only. In Linux only, I will show that example. Wait. One moment. If you see here, I have multiple users. Jerry, Tom, Bob, Jack, John, different users are there. Right. Any user, if you click, it asks for the password. Without password, we cannot log in into user account. This also I told. For every user, password authentication is compulsory. See here. Without password, we cannot log in into any account. Now, I want to log in into multiple accounts. As we discuss, multi-user multitasking, right?
Yes.
I logged in into root account. Means one user. I logged in into one user already. Now, if you observe, there is one user is logged in root. Now, if you observe, now Tom user also logged in. Now here, if you observe, here root user is here, Tom user is there. Here root
Yes.
user is there.
Yes, sir.
I'll open another tab. SU space Cherry. One more user is logged in. If you observe, another user is logged in. Are you getting this? Here Tom user is there. Here
Okay.
root user is there. And here user Jerry is there. Multiple users
So-
logged in at a time.
Okay, ma'am. Got it.
Hello?
Yeah, got it, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. So how to create these users, how to log in, this all I will show practically also. I mean, as I'm showing now, I just overview like I showed, but very clearly step by step I will show in further sessions. So these are the few reasons why Linux means. These are all the points what I showed you here. Every point practically will see in further session. Okay, today I just explained the features of Linux. Why Linux? Why people are switching to Linux? What are the features we have in Linux? I just give information theoretically, not explained anything practically. In further classes, I will show you practically also. Okay, in tomorrow's session, I will explain what are the default directories you will get along with the operating system. Once we install operating system, what are the default directories, means folders we will get along with the operating system, that I will explain. And what are the recommended partitions to create Linux operating system, that I'll explain in tomorrow's session. Okay, if time permits, I will show how to install the operating system also, if time permits only. Otherwise, I'll explain about the directories of Linux, default directories of Linux.
I have one question. Can I ask you?
Yeah. Yes.
I have Windows operating system in my PC. if I want to join in Linux course, so I need to install in my personal PC Linux operating system to practice
Not at
purpose.
all required. No, not
Not
at
at
all
all required.
required. Not at all. We have a software called VMware, virtual machine.
Okay, okay, okay.
There is a software called virtual machine. You just install this virtual machine. See, I installed VMware workstation. I installed. If you observe, see here. Using VMware only, I created.
Okay, okay.
I created
Previously,
multiple
I was learning
computers
the
in
SharePoint
VMware.
administrator, ma'am, in VMware. So it is
Okay.
useful for me. I was joined in
Yes.
HCL 6 months, but I could not able to crack the interview in client interview. But it is useful to
Okay.
me that knowledge.
Yeah, Linux
I
knowledge
have
is
20.
add-on for you.
Okay, okay. I'm good at networking
Okay.
topics.
So easily you can understand. And one more thing, Linux is a very interesting concept. You like it.
Yeah, but
And
ma'am,
very
there is one question. Actually, I'm a
yeah.
2013 BTech password. Later, I was prepared for government jobs. So
Okay.
almost 10 years completed. So yeah, am I eligible to learn this course? I want to put at least 5 years experience.
You
And
can go
previously
with
also
this
I was.
course, but after completing this course, you can go up to 3 to 4 years experience.
Okay, okay.
Okay, and you can go with this course, and you can tell that you are switching. You can tell them like you are switching to this
So
networking. Reasons you can tell different.
okay, is it enough for to crack the interview, ma'am, and also survive with the job with
Definitely,
your
definitely.
coaching?
Yes, definitely,
Okay.
100%.
Thank you,
You
ma'am.
can
Thank you
write
so much.
exam also. Red Hat exam also. If you just after completing the course, if you practice dumps for 15 days, you can write exam also.
Shall we need to pay any money, ma'am, to write the study hat exam?
Red Hat a certification, yeah, they'll charge. Red Hat people will charge. It is not required actually.
Okay,
If you
okay,
joined in
thank you.
any organization, they will pay. Organization will pay behalf
Oh,
of you.
okay, okay, okay,
So better to write like
okay,
that.
okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Mukesh, are you audible? Can you hear my voice? Am I audible to you, Mukesh? Okay. So fine. We'll meet tomorrow at same time. Okay. Tomorrow I'll explain, and this all the concept again. I will explain practically in further session. As I told you, I will share the notes also regularly. I will share the notes, whatever the concepts we are discussing, points also I will share. Okay. So those who registered for this course, ask them to add into Telegram group. They'll create a group, separate group for this session, and they'll add you into that group. Don't forget that. Okay, so thank you for the session. Tomorrow also, mostly demo link only. You can attend tomorrow's session also. Okay. Thank you for the session.
Hello, somebody from DurgaSoft is here, right? Actually, that Google Pay number is not working, ma'am. It is showing like can't find a friend invite like that.
Um, I'll give their number. You just contact them. One moment. One moment. I'll share their number. Call them. You just call to this number. or message to this number, WhatsApp. You can message them.
Okay. Where you say?
I shared that number in chat. One
You already.
moment. It receives to one moment. One moment. It is not. It is not received to everyone. Yeah. Have received now?
Yes.
Yeah. So just send a message to them in WhatsApp. They'll get back to you.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.